Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers, and this morning I'm looking at a book which has come to us from Elgar Publishing. It's a very interesting book, now in a second edition. It's called A Dictionary of Taxation, and it's been compiled and written by Simon James. This is the book here, and we'll have a look at it in a minute. I've given it a title which I think is quite interesting. Nothing certain except death and taxes. Well, we all have said that. Yes, Benjamin Franklin would be delighted by this dictionary of terms on taxation, because that's what this book is all about. And for many people, the issue of taxation raises the blood pressure pretty quickly, and a cold streak runs down the back when HMRC or the VAT men call. So what Simon Jenkins says in the preface is, to this excellent second edition is quite correct. He says the Dictionary of Taxation, with its 200 new entries, is that taxes might be the price of civilization being traced back to its beginnings, so we will need some guidance on the sorts of words being used, because debts and taxation themselves start from the dawn of man, as it were. The intention of this 300-page book is to provide an explanation or description of terms which are commonly used or which provide interesting insights or curiosities in this most important of economic subjects. And we believe that the dictionary holds an interest not just for the usual suspects, that's lawyers, accountants, financial practitioners and advisors and academics, but also the general public, who are expected to know everything there is about tax, as, quote, ignorance of the law is no excuse, as we've heard on many occasions. Well, you have to have a great start, and this is what you get here. What I think you would find helpful is to know that your local civil servant, council tax collector or general tax gatherer should actually have this book readily available on his or her desk next to their PC, mouse, paper clips and in tray. And that would be to allow them to field questions on the perplexing issues of tax payers' requests for information, because right often the words used are very, very difficult to understand. That in itself would be a great market for the books, because it would offer simplicity, where a succession of Chancellors of the Exchequer in recent years have endeavoured to make this subject as difficult as possible to understand. That's the book itself anyway, that's the spine, and there are some very detailed comments about the first edition. Inside, what you've got is its alphabetic order. There's P, for instance, there, showing you all the various things. It gives you some case law as well, which is quite helpful. For instance, Partington versus the Attorney General is mentioned. The only thing I found a little bit awkward is the fact that you quite often will get a reference to another part of the book, so do be careful with that. And do also read the preface itself, which Mr. James has produced, which sets out what his purpose is with the book. It's only a little book, as I say, in 300 pages, but it's one that I'm very pleased with, and I'd like to thank Elgar, who are a family business dealing with international publishing primarily, for what is an excellent contribution and something which I think all people will find helpful. In my view, it should be a bestseller. So, let's see if the civil service and the other organisations in the public sector buy it. All the very best to Elgar and to Simon James for this. Thank you. Bye-bye.